Katowice, 1,919 kilometers away from Helsinki, and well, of course, that is Finland, in case you're unaware. ENCE doing it here in the first map of Mirage, making things look easy. Don't want to go ahead with all the cliches, but you know what? We might as well at this point, because we do have a second map upon us, but not before we begin to break this one down. Let me go ahead and introduce you, or reintroduce you rather, here to my analyst desk in Pimp and Escares. Make sure you put the @ sign in Escares. He does get a little upset about that. But ultimately, guys, quite the showing here on the first map with ENCE.
That was a great team performance from ENCE. I feel they were all showing up, the entire team was working well, and in general, this is the level we expected coming out of ENCE. This is the level we expected to see from them from the get-go of the major. They have been looking sloppy, but this one was a great performance.
Yeah. And I think you're onto something with that, Pimp and Sean, at the same time. We're talking about the individual performers showing up in a big way. And my next question is going to be directed at you, Sean. Which individual performers?
So I actually think X7 showed up really big this game. He had 2 1v1s in that first half where he stuck the bomb against Fitch. And I'm sure those are going to haunt Fitch. Ouch. Those are really important rounds when you look at how this match ended up turning out. Also, he got that opening pick on the B bomb site on the second half pistol. And the starts to the halves are what made ENCE win this game, in my opinion. 4-1 start on CT, 4-0 start on T.
Add on top of that, Alexi B with that beautiful 1 versus 2 clutch on the B bomb side, totally outplaying AVANGAR. It's not often that you see one player just completely messing with an entire team in a situation like that, so that was very well played by ENCE. That said though, it was a relatively close game. AVANGAR could definitely have gotten more out of this.
I would really love to know more about why the rhythm is the way it is for ENCE right now, because we know them to be very methodical in their approach, and I feel like they've been rather scattered and disjointed. Up until this point, we're starting to see glimpses of what they could look like and are supposed to look like if it's actually truly going to be easy for ENCE. But one man it's very easy for is Mr. Jacob. Now, I have actually brought in a toy for you to play with, and you know, it's not like Mattel or Matchbox or anything, so let's go ahead and get you over there.
That'd be cool though, right?
Yeah, I think it
Now, we have a little thing on the Telestrator where I'm going to showcase some of the stuff that AVANGAR actually did well and some of the stuff that they learned within the game. It's a nice little neat point that I would like to illustrate here on the Telestrator. You can see the round is being set up right now. If we just remove that, you have the entire team of AVANGAR spread out on the map. This is a force buy situation from ENCE. They saved 2 guns, so around where AVANGAR should be very careful, because at this point, they already lost 1 anti-eco, and you cannot do that if you want to beat a team like ENCE. Now, if we play out the map, clip right here, you can see that they're all rotating back towards the A-bomb side. And there's no reason for us to see that entire thing, so we just clip it out here. Now, what AVANGAR is going to do is that they're going to do a full A execute in an anti-eco. And a lot of you guys would probably say out there and sit and think, all right, Pimp, we know that. That's very basic. We even do it in matchmaking. But you'd be surprised how many pro teams that opt to go for some other weird plays. Now, what I like about this is that AVANGAR take no chances whatsoever. A lot of smokes going down, Molotovs and sandwich, Molotov towards the bench, Molotov on the balcony, and they just take the A-bomb side very controlled, very convinced, because they have already lost an anti-eco and they don't want to do that one more time. So they're showing a great landing curve. Now, there's a nice little neat play that also is coming into play when we're talking about Train, this team play and the communication in between the AVANGAR players. You can see Cricket, he's rotated and he's hiding over here behind the screen. It's going to be tough to see for you guys, but he actually is the only guy with a flash. You can also see Fitch and Jamie currently in a position where they're being pressured. They're 2 against 3 guys here towards the AVANGAR player. So if we play out the clip, you can see Cricket, the only guy with a flash. He's going to throw a flash that's going to land up here, which allows for Fitch to peek into those 2 players that is currently fighting him right here. You can see how they're blinded up. And that flash is literally what's going to save them the round. So AVANGAR take no chances whatsoever. They displayed some good team comps. And this is some of the stuff they need to do on Train if they want to have any chance of beating ENCE now. That was well played by them, but ENCE just seems to be on another level right now.
Yeah, right now, and more importantly, that was AVANGAR's map pick, and that's got to pose a problem, Sean.
Yeah, but like Jacob said, I mean, they are prepared across the maps. I like the layers that you see in that strat, right? You don't have just the initial A execute. You have the layer beforehand where they spread out the rotations, and then the layer afterwards with the flash over the wall. So I think they're going to be prepared on Train.
Yeah, well, Train is the next map on the cards, and of course, ENCE and AVANGAR being the matchup here that does determine who, in fact, is going on the playoffs and who, in fact, is going on into the airport through security and that entire process that is very, very much as arduous and long as it is getting to the stage. Now we can look at some of the pistol round stats here. We talk about first kill win percentages, but in all reality, it's coming down to some individuals making some big plays here.
I think so. I think the clutch situations and the good starts to the half, as you were alluding to, was a big factor in this ENCE win. That said, though, I felt this game could have been much closer. There were some dicey clutches that could have gone both ways.
Yeah.
And the economical game was also playing into ENCE's favor. So overall, a strong showing, especially from the individuals, but this could have been much closer.
Yeah, and the T-sides, there's something to talk about. We're going to do that, but first we're going to go to a quick video here, kind of looking into Q-Kurt and what he's all about. Let's go check it out.
During all matchups, we were becoming stronger and stronger. We were just learning our opponents, and we were taking like step by step, and became enough strong just to go through Legend. We just need to play our game and adapt much better. Like then we played against Tailu. It was pretty hard to adapt against them, so we have to fix it and adapt faster. So it's main reason that we have to work on. Our main aim is just to go to Legend stage spot, like to get this status. It's pretty important for us. It's our main aim.
Got to get them back on the stage, get them ready to go. Right there, you can see those eyes trained and focused on what is the prize, and that is moving on forward here in Katowice 2019. Quite literally, it was in front of his eyes. So what else is in front of the eyes is Train.
Yes.
Now, this is a map I think everyone can kind of put in the ENCE pool of being, okay, well, this is going to get a little dicey for us.
Yes. You know, ENCE is actually quite good on Train, and I think that's because they have such a lockdown inner bomb site. With Sergey playing that site, whenever I watch them play Train, he has such phenomenal impact there. And then Alu obviously can find his picks in the outer yard. He's not super aggressive where he's a liability. And I think that's a good combination when you play Train.
I definitely agree. You have the inside being locked down by Sergey, and then you have the outside being held down by the likes of Alexi B, Ariel, and X7 towards the Ivy area. They're so good at being disruptive in the way they play on the CT side. They're going very aggressive towards Pop Dog, very aggressive to T main, and there's never any space to be worked off from the T side. So if ENCE can sort of like disrupt AVANGAR and the way they want to play, that's going to be super tough for them to break through that.
But ENCE also starting on the T side here. Sean, I'm going to pose you with a real quick question before we get into this matchup. With, AVANGAR starting on CT, is that going to help them going forward in the second map?
I think so, because we just saw them, you know, rally off quite a few CT rounds on Mirage. And if it wasn't for that poor start, I think they would have, you know, pieced together a much better half. Jame, with that being said, I think Jame can play better than what we saw in that first map. And this is a map where he can have tons of impact.
ENCE haven't lost on Train in 2019 yet, so this would be the first time they would have to take a deficit for AVANGAR to survive in this game. I don't think it's going to be happening. I think ENCE is going to be too strong for this.
Okay, well, strong for ENCE wasn't necessarily the hashtag being used, but perhaps you can figure it out on your own in the Twitter sphere. We're jumping into ENCE versus AVANGAR on Train, and we've got two of the best storytellers in all of Counter-Strike Global Offensive. It's going to be Henry G and Sadikis. Take it away, fellas.
Oh, Trace is such a sweetheart. Indeed, we do have Train for you here. ENCE are the favorites going into it after picking up the map pick of AVANGAR. We're going to kick things off with a T-side start, of course, for ENCE, and they'll have one smoke. Any upgraded pistols? There is a P250 there, and Buster gets information towards the brown halls that two players reside in that particular position. They'll slow things right down, though, as they have the bomb towards Ivy, and they're waiting to make their move.
Fitch already peeking back in that direction. Won't spot anyone as of yet. Rotation starts to lead off towards Z connector. Kiekert's still on the other side of that at B. He can get back to A likely just as quick. Chances are you could go for a split at this point with X7 going in A main. Bombs out toward Ivy, suggestive that it's still going to be on A. But the other option to this is exactly what Sergey and Alexi B seem to have in mind. Push through B. At the very least, you cause concern for rotation, but you can push him behind. The problem with that is that Buster on the high ground was able to detect no one else was inside the brown halls, and no one left the A site, so Fitch just mows them all down with the USP.
Oh my goodness, that's clinical precision there from Fitch. 3 bullets fired and 3 headshots found. Absolutely sensational. As we'll see him just absolutely dismantle the offense there. A bit of an inside fake from ENCE, trying to get the Brown Horse control. They did spot Buster towards upper. That's what begs the question to me. You actually spot him there, and then you run past him, allow him to get those 2 frags. It was all a ruse, though, as they sent most of their firepower towards outside, and Fitch is waiting for them, and he took every single player down with him. It is going to be 1-0 on the CT side for AVANGAR, as ENCE take the full eco here. They haven't even got a flash, so they will head towards inside. It's a very common position to get the bomb down. They crouch past this window to avoid potential wall bangs coming through from outside. And they're going to try and trade out 1 kill here, if possible. But 2 players there, I don't think this will happen. All that made.
It's gonna, yeah. They're so softened up right now by the... Surprisingly, it didn't actually get that far. They were so softened up by the SMGs, I thought it would just take them down. The problem is now, they're gonna concede the bomb plant. Only 1 player up close couldn't do anything to deny. 5 players rounded onto him, so that's money for ENCE, and we know the money system now. It's not that new anymore. Means they can buy very aggressively with that bomb as well.
They could even bring out an AWP and armor at this stage with the bomb planter. That's actually a bit of a failure for AVANGAR. It looks great. Oh, we only lost 1 frag there, but you allow the bomb planter to go down, and you had a player that's defended as well, and they're going to be a little bit miffed that that happened.
It begs the question as well, because we know that B-site train is the quickest plant position to entry. You could argue that coming out of Palace and Mirages, but it's still very visible, right? It's very open. So why don't you throw 2 players up there on the CT side when it is second round, when it is against pistols? And teams never seem to do it, or at least have a Molotov ready for the default position.
Well, either way, it will be a full buy here for ENCE, and Lexi B has actually got towards Olof. CT's playing in front of Smokes and looking to combat the frags here as Crizin goes in with the MP9. He needs to be very careful because there is a player waiting on the other side, boosting Alu, who's protecting him from those sort of flanks. That's going to be Aerial. Lexi B, though, will be dropped in return.
Good recovery by Buster, because the fact that they spotted the boost, they may not have been aware that there was a second, or rather in that case, 3rd player already pushing down toward Hell. And it could have easily caught them off. The fact that they had a second on the ladder as well themselves could have been very dangerous, very detrimental. James, here we go, up on train. We built that up enough. He's got to be almost perfect this game. Spots another box, but was already falling off the angle. He'll fall to 8 HP, but they keep the man advantage crucially. They do lose a lot of ground at the outer site. Molotovs, as you can see them on the radar, are down on the train itself, and they want to try and push forward and take advantage of that bomb. They'll leave it at Sandwich, but look at Buster. He's already behind them. AUG in hand, and they're not advancing past the E-box. He's got to be so careful. Alu getting that 1 kill allows Aerial to go deeper. He does not want to overstep the mark too soon, and Aerial seems to suspect he is going to arrive from that position. The AK already aimed perfectly positioned for a headshot. In fact, it just mows him down from the chest. We'll split the difference and say it hit him in the neck.
Amazing work from Aerial there, managing to have the awareness towards the E-box that a potential flank could be coming in. This round was looking so good for AVANGAR, and it all crumbles at that position. Main entrance. Flank goes down, all of a sudden the round doesn't seem possible. Now, Matt, there's a stat I want to talk about on this particular map. So the AWP, of course, we talk about Alu versus against James, and that's a very important battle on Train because it's the 2nd highest map in terms of AWP kills throughout this stage of the tournament. It's Dust 2 at number 1, but it's Train right in there at number 2. So James only gets 1 kill there. Alu as well. It's normally the opening picks the AWP can get, and that's the cue for the teammates to either swarm out of their choke points or push the T's back. 2-1. And to keep 3 players alive, including the AWP of Alu. So that's a very successful first gun round for them, but there still is enough to buy on the CT side. They save an M4 and an AWP as well. So you need to buy 3 players though. Aerial protecting Alu from the push, and seems to be protecting the entire team after watching the main entrance. Great awareness. Very well done. 70 ADR so far. We're going to round number 4. Pretty decent buy overall from the CTs, but they've got 1 UMP in the hands of Kicker. So we'll see whether they can do it again. 3 players towards Ivy once more. Alu just going to go for the straight peek here, I think.
He's holding it. Buster's there on the AUG. Opposite side to where Alu's looking, though, so he's got some safety. And that means he can actually spot out Alexi, but he's already very cleverly snuck underneath of the crosshair, spotted him with the shoulder. That's information enough. They won't go any further aggression toward Ivy as a result. At least not yet. Back off, let it subside. Ariel A main, Sergey ladder. Bomb at Ivy always suggests that A is the intention.
Well, we saw ENCE try to do that inside fake before. So they might have that sort of play in mind. But yes, you're absolutely right. With 3 players there with the bomb, it does suggest that A will be the final approach here. Oh, I was about to say, Krisen could have caught Sergey there, but he gets out.
It's a risk to do it with the bomb. But if Sergey can get deep enough on B, I think it's too early to go. You could wrap backtracks. There is a way to split to B from that position, but again, you normally do that with the lurk. They are going to try and target Buster, though. He's on the far side of it. Sergey never goes far enough. They look right. Does Buster peek back in, smoke down? If he pushes through it, he can't. X7's got him covered off. That would have shut down everyone at Old Train at backtracks. And wrapping in from hell, now Krisen has to hold at the ladder. They've surrounded the outside site. ENCE, bomb plants. Round in itself, 3 players up. Sergey still just waiting over toward B. Couldn't find Kickert cleanly. So that does reveal he's up in the halls and doesn't really give him the edge anymore.
Well, he heard the UMP bullets fired, so he'll still be interested in that fight. Krisen trying to back him up here as Sergey dances with the CT. He will come out on top there. Look for a second as well. Detects he's there. He might have been better off not firing back. But now he's compromised himself. Alu with a brilliant shot there to take the AWP away. And Krisen certainly died here. He gets 1 kill, maybe a second. They won't let him survive though.
Solving themselves.
Oh,
Alu. 2 HP. That would have been the... But that's such an Alu reaction.
Calculated.
Yep, not bad. Got away, boys. Don't worry. Still got the op. It's all good.
They would have got him no problem without that play, but he survives, so it seems like it all works out. They take down all 5 members of AVANGAR there, tie the scoreline up at 2-2. He even takes a bullet there, goes down to 2 HP, 1 more tick, and it was all over. He smiles and maybe has a sigh of relief after that as they get into round 5 here. Full eco for AVANGAR on their CT side. This is where ENCE can take the lead and really start to show us why they're considered the favorites here on Train. As I said, they're yet to lose this map in 2019, so we'll see if that translates here. Doesn't look good for AVANGAR right now. 2 players alive, both with Zeus's and USPs. Kicker hoping that someone goes hunting for him, but it's not a similar situation to the previous round. Now ENCE don't have the hunts. They know it's a full eco. Alu, I guess, can get away with it. He's got the MAC-10. Every kill he gets with this weapon, he'll get $600 or 0. Ricky. It is taken down by the Zeus.
Ricky's inspired them.
He has. It's actually a pretty cool weapon if you think about it. If you can play it like that and steal away an AK, they only got a MAC-10 there, it's certainly worth it. Much more effective than just having a USP. James, the AWP, like we said, if he gets killed with a MAC-10, that's 600 for him as well, but not going to happen. It's Alexi B that preempts his position. Kickert, the last player alive for the CTs. Osborne is starting to rack up here. They don't have enough of the AWP. 4,200 on James. They will buy this round. Krisen could drop the AWP, I suppose. Oh my god, he's actually gone for it. So he'll have to go completely naked with the M4 here.
Yeah, but think back though to the first game again against Liquid. The entire game plan was to revolve around the CT side and opt for James. It seems they want to do the same here to ENCE. They want to try and punish as much as they can. In this map, unlike Mirage, more like Overpass, you can do that. You can get aggressive positions with the CT side AWP. Again, Mirage, you get smoked off so easily. So much utility to hinder you. It's a bit like Cash, and when you're stuck behind quad, you pretty much have to just be defensive at all times.
Well, he gets the first pick, so it's working out right now. They're putting a lot of faith in James here, and so far he's delivering the goods. Alu, though, so strong on this map. Great movement, always very intelligent with his approach. Double Molotov towards the connector here as they get closer and closer towards our bomb site.
Spectator glitch. The smoke was deployed a lot sooner. Didn't show up for us all the way, but that's why Fitch was able to push up. It was down. Buster's got Sergey, and it's AVANGAR responding to the last few rounds, as now it's just Alu and X7 left. Fitch is already behind them. He's pushed back in from Hot Dog, unaware, though, that X7 is on top of the bomb train, but 1 on 4. They're completely around him. They don't even need to force this, because he's not got many options. Bomb is on his back. He'll back out with it. Just don't allow a plant, and it's a job well done. James on the AWP finds 2 in the end, first and last.
Seems like it's a very beneficial drop in the end. That's your star player. Looking like he's going to cause a lot of damage here on Train. Absolutely so. 3-3. It's going to be the timeout now from AVANGAR, actually. So after winning the round, they just want to have a chat, work out how this double AWP setup, which has now been picked up in the previous round, is going to operate. It will be given to Buster, the secondary orb that is. And now that allows them to potentially have one player inside. They can go towards the upper halls and try and get control there and have 4 outside. That's certainly an option for them. They might want to change the pace and go for an aggressive pick somewhere. Hence, with one more buy here, their money's running low after they invest into round number 7. Here's the replay, Jay. Great shot to open things up. Takes down Alexi. Got the final frag as well. Just a shout out to X7 as well. He had a great performance in Mirage. Really strong impact. Top fragger so far is Alu on 6 and 4, but we're in the very early stages of this second map.
Is taken out as by default, as per standard. Kristen now knows they're above, and he's got to back away. Molotov will buy him some space, but they're going to stand in it. They are going to stand in it, and this time Ariel's going to go down. Sergey on 21. Alu wasn't anywhere near it, just to note. He didn't have to survive the flames this time. He'll go elsewhere. He's on the AWP still, and it's the one-man advantage pulled back, though, as Fitch gets Sergey. Smoke down Sandwich. Can't spot yet as to exactly where Alexi B is.
Ooh, gotta hit those. Fitch sends a barrage of bullets towards the main entrance and doesn't get the frag, but Jay making up for it now. Really looking solid here on train, and great movement just to bait out a bit of intel there. Alexi will be the only player with 100 HP. Alu's down to 31. That's a great shot. 2 on 2 now. Very pivotal round in the game. If AVANGAR win this map, they send ENCE to an eco. If they cannot pick it up, however, they are going to be reset themselves after picking up the previous round. 45 seconds remain. No utility available on the T side. Where do they head towards here? Alexi's got the bomb, and Alu, common trait of his is causing distractions and finding picks while his teammate goes to another area of the map. With 30 seconds remaining, he does need to start showing some presence here and working out where they reside. That's why he's just firing shots off now.
Yeah, he's desperate. If he could pull one out with that and get the kill, it's worth it. That's
it works.
Work. Buster holds in the corner. Alexi slides in. He was fear from the up. And he drops. It's going to be Kicker down to Alu. Watch out, because he can wrap around. Alexi can't plant. It's already gone. It's time! But Alexi gets him. He thought he was on it. He didn't need to face.
I have no words. Alexi B missed the jump up towards the bomb train and decides, you know what, I can't plant anymore. I'll have to go for the pick, and he nails it. So jukes him out with the fake plant. Tried to jump over the bomb train, didn't work out. Comes around, takes the headshot anyway. As I mentioned, that is an absolutely crucial round there for ENCE. They have reset the economy of AVANGAR. They have around $2,000 per player. They get 1,900 next. They still won't have a strong buy even after a fully.
It's very rare you see the time kills actually happen. Famously, Get Right did it on Dust 2 with a second left. He hit the shot through the box on an op. Remember Alu, you can axe there. The reverse side of it is there's a famous round by TSM in Bucharest, I want to say PGL kickoff season. It might have been Cluj, where Cajun B was in the pit, didn't peek, and allowed the full defuse. He had the AWP. And he actually said to me after, he said, I didn't think that he was going to actually hold the bomb plant. If I had a peeked, I could have denied it easily. But because he didn't, it then went to a one-on-one and Cajun lost it. And retrospectively, that is the right approach. Just hide when the time's uncertain. At least you give yourself a chance in the retake.
That's a good point. There should be no chance here for AVANGAR, however. USPs, a Deagle. There is a James Zeus. You can see how he's positioning himself just to get the full effect of that weapon. It's not guaranteed to be a kill, but most of the time, if you connect it, you're going to get the frag. It can be quite frustrating. It's all down to range. If you're very close range, it's going to do 100 damage. If you're doing it from like 4 feet away, it's touch and go. It might do 96. And they're going to do the totem drop down towards Pop Dog there. 40 seconds remain. It is an inside stack. You can see that on your radars right now. And Alexi might actually be sending a bit of a diversion. Either way, ENCE will win this round. It's just how expensive it's going to be. Will James land the Zeus?
He's already got one this game, 2 for 2. Aaron's got the immediate trade. That time it doesn't work out to pick up a rifle because they're just too close. There's just too many of them, and that continues to be the case as they find Kickard as well. It's just Buster. He'll try and wrap back in with the USP, but he drops to Alexi B immediately after, and it goes 5 now for ENCE, 5 to 3. You mentioned it as well. The economy just not there, and it still really isn't, but they're going to try and force it. That op get passed across.
They're going to have to drop it for him again. So once more, a rifler will go over armor and utility to assist James here. I like it though. It's a very orb-centric map, And if anyone's going to carry them through it, it's going to be James. He is absolutely phenomenal with the sniper. He's got 7 kills so far. He's on the same scoreline as Alu with 1 less death as they go for a fast outside take here. Maybe not preempting an AWP to be available. One player fast towards Olof, and they'll kind of reel it in a little bit once he's got in position. James towards the inside, and like I said, once you have this player set up in this position, you can now see 4 rifles towards outside. Alexi, though, he has got himself in a great spot. That's wallbang damage, I believe, towards Sergey. It is.
Yeah, absolutely. And Alexi just standing behind them catches out Fitch. He was totally unaware that he was already down toward the hell position. It's going to be followed up by Alu. Finally, they get a response from the Flames. Kickert's feet. So much damage. He does very well to find 2, but then Ariel is easily able to get the response. He knew exactly where he had to retreat to. Not only that, Buster's going to come back in from the same position, but it's too late as a response to get the bomb, or rather deny it, to get it out of ENCE's hands. So James comes back in late, smoke's still down. Buster's on top of the site directly. James desperate for that off to find an angle, but Ariel does not have to move. Buster will. He's gonna go aggressive. Gun barrel shows, he sees it, he knows, and he's got damage. Not the shot, he's trying to bait the ball in at once. He's potentially overthinking it. Just get some down because now James left in a 1-on-3. I think that's done. He's already gone. He wants the AWP. If they're gonna continue to drop it for him, we'll see him continue to save it.
You're absolutely right. In terms of the loss bonus here, they're going to be on 3rd stage. So that's going to be $2,400 per player. Not really an ideal situation, but they do save the AWP. I can confirm James has not been found. He sits in towards CT spawn right now as the boys discuss their next approach. This is looking very, very good for ENCE right now. Wouldn't say easy at this point, but still, they're comfortable. 6-3 on the T side of Train. It's considered to be one of the most CT biased maps we have. And they're not going to force buy around it, but James, with the AWP, he can still win the round for them. It's possible.
Boost up again, and you're right, this is going aggressive for the AWP. But it has to get picks early, surely. Can they recover from a deficit with just the op to work with? Buster's out toward Ivy. They haven't done anything unorthodox yet for James op. They haven't put it toward the corner at Down Halls or trying to play it toward Ivy. He's slowly coming over in that direction now because he knows there's utility, which means he certainly knows there's a presence. Oh, he was anticipating it. He looked above the server. Smoke down, he doesn't actually get the timing right. LexiB's still there. They've got support for James. In fact, they're going to surround him. They're going to protect the AWP. It's kind of like playing AS Wheel Ring, where he is the VIP, but he can't hit the shot, even with the bait served. James gets it back. He turns around and finds X7 instead. That'll force the bomb off. Smoke down. He doesn't want to mess with it. Alexi's got to go around the long way. B's wide open. They haven't realized it. 50 seconds, they still could, but it may just come to kills. Alu's catching everyone, and that's the op down. James gone. He got a main. Once they knew there was 4 at long, he just got in a position where he could potentially catch them off, and he does exactly that.
Very good stuff. Alu, strong as ever, and they're not making any mistakes here at all. The fake plant, just in case CT is waiting by the bomb train there. It is going to be another ENCE round here. 7-3. AVANGAR can still come back and win the half, but it's looking incredibly scary now. If you are just tuning in, this is the second map of our elimination game here in a best of 3. It's ENCE who looked very strong on Mirage. AVANGAR started to creep back into the game after a few eco victories. But now, on the map pick of ENCE, they're going to be 7-3 down on the CT side. Their money won't be fantastic either. They get 4-state loss bonus after this. Actually, it'll be fine. They can get the orb set again, at least. Will they go with the double orb setup, though? Kick out with 3K right now. He's got the most. So they can afford 2 orbs. The problem is they keep buying these AWPs. They don't really have enough around it to get a very strong round here. So Fitch and Kristen have bought straight away. Kickout has to drop the orb again. James will drop an M4 in return. Buster could bring out the secondary orb. He is that player on the team. Here's Alu. His next shot's the most important one. Takes down James. He's so fast. Great stuff from him. Buster's still yet to buy. 5,100. Does he dare purchase the weapon? Could be the catalyst to their success or cost them the game if he doesn't have any utility or armor for that matter. Untrained is not a huge deal. You can just position yourself at a very long range. And he does purchase the secondary orb. There it is. You can see no real utility or armor. They have no defuse kits here either.
AVANGAR just aren't finding the crucial rounds. It's similar to the early portions of Mirage. They just couldn't get it done to take the economic advantage, and they'll keep the double up this time. Again, they've been doing very well to get it into James' hand, but it needs to start converting. It needs to start applying pressure and converting rounds, more importantly. Again, we know this is their style. They're going to play around that. It only goes for so long. He's got the bottom side of ramp. First time we've seen him really change it up from the A site.
And ENCE haven't really been inside at all so far. And this time it works out. ENCE will lose Sergey. Jame with the shotgun orb towards the lower ramp nails the shot. It's a difficult one because you don't just have one angle to watch there. You have the back wall, upper position, and the lower one as well. Sometimes it requires a flick, but this time his crosshair was in the correct position, and he nails it. Sergey taken down. 5 versus 4. But the fact they have no kits and next to no utility, ENCE can certainly pull this one back as they return towards Ivy. Alu, who takes his AWP over there. Aerial to cover A main. Flash over. Alu gonna set his teammate up, but they're not striking just yet.
Mosh is at the ready. Kristen, he's gonna retake Pop Dog for the CT side. Aerial, meanwhile, has to work in with Alu. Quick cross, make sure no one's peeking down inside of A main. Buster, he's looking back that direction, but instead he wants to swing into the hitch, allow them in a little further. Kristen's forced further up inside of the doorway, and that puts him straight into the smoke. That is so well architecturally designed. You could graduate from master's degree with it. They pushed him directly into Alexi B. He fires down in, and it's a 2-on-2. James wrapped back around though with the AWP. Keep that in mind, but he's missed another. Those are the ones. He can hit all the shots he wants, but he needs these crucial impact moments as Alu takes back Kicker. He's got to rise up now. Sees them above, but looks away, and X7 gets the kill. It's 8-3.
Another miss there. Does allow ENCE to close out the rounds. And yes, you're absolutely right. That play towards the Pop Dog, that's certainly what we'd put in the realm of an alley-oop. You throw the Molotov in, it creates a sound cue for your player waiting above Pop Dog, and the CT's got no choice either to run out to certain depth, a main entrance, or try and sit in the smoke beneath the Pop Dog. He chooses the latter, and then sprayed down, and Alu starts plucking them off once again. Just looking so strong. He wants to taste that top 8 once again. He's been there a few times. And it's looking like they're going to make it at this stage. Another eco for AVANGAR. They do have CZs and some Kevlar, but I don't see them winning this round. It would take a massive mistake here from Alu, but he's in a defensive position. Even if he misses the shot, he can knife out and get out of that, and Aerial to back him up. So there we go. It's all part of the plan.
She's going to get aggressive, can't do anything with it. Aerial already there on the AK. Getting desperate now on the AVANGAR side, trying to use pistols to make amends. Buster back towards CT, USP. It's really not much to speak of, is it? Deagle for Kiekert, he's got armor, so too does Jame. There's 2 smokes in play. What else can I tell you, Henry? Anything else positive?
I think you covered all the bases there, to be honest.
It's looking pretty good. It's a long list, right?
Yeah.
It's a good little laundry list.
It's looking pretty good, I think is the headline for ENCE right now. AVANGAR will have almost no chance of reclaiming this. They might as well hold on to their armor. Kicker, Jame, and Krisen. They must be at maximum loss bonus by now. They've just hit it. CT side, they only get you so far. And the T's don't need to hunt this. You might be thinking, why aren't they going for these kills? Because they've got nothing to gain from him. They're the ones that have the rifles and the AWP. If anything, they just risk giving a very beneficial weapon to the CT side. X7's at a long range here. He'll take the target practice. Bit of a shooting gallery here. Trying to whack that mole. And he's getting whacked himself, folks. Things he'll just get out of there. Next challenger.
Yeah.
Also fair.
Step right up. Win your fair prize.
Didn't work out, but like I said, they didn't need those kills anyway.
No, they don't. 9-3, and still very much in the lead, very much in control, and already with a map in hand, starting to get a very, very uncomfortable place in this major for AVANGAR. Might be the last place they find themselves in if they don't turn things around. See if they can as we Leave spawn, Aerial with bomb. He's going to take that in his hands a little bit further, so okay, he's going to drop it. I thought they might, so they're going to play a pick strategy. They're going to go for defaults. Krizen, he's going to get aggressive as well, but the fact that they're holding and waiting for these kills. Jane, first time, finally to the corner, will get Alu.
It's that CT flash that we didn't quite see there, but it goes over the window and absolutely destroys the AWP waiting for that upper pick. That's a really nice little push there from the CTs. Well crafted. As it goes 5 versus 4, but so far, AVANGAR have given up all the advantages they've had in these gun rounds. It is going to be 9-3. Remember, AVANGAR won the pistol here, had the 2-0. They have won a single gun round since then, got reset. Scoreline is 9-3 on the elimination map. They're already 1-0 down. 9-3 on their CT side of train. And it's a 4-4 again. As soon as they get the pick, it's answered back straight away by X7.
Aerial inside of A main, down below. His teammates above. X7 with the bomb is the one coming into shot now. And with Alexi B and Sergey heading inside, Aerial's going to be a lurk. High smoke down, that does draw some attention, certainly. Maybe not. James out of there. It's not the right call. He thinks that smoke might just be a fake. Luckily, Fitch is good for one. Kiekert, he takes 2. Inside on the spools, Lurk's gone. Kiekert holds the site. So far, so good, but X7 is the one that's still alive. And again, as I mentioned, has the bomb, but James got back in time. And AVANGAR will get their 4th round.
ENCE trying their luck towards inside. One of the few attempts they've made towards that position. 4-on-4, Kick playing in front of the spools. You don't actually see that too often, but it's a crafty little position because you wouldn't necessarily come in checking that because, if anything, the CT is usually behind the spool. So they come down, focusing towards that connector. He manages to get the trade kill as well and stay alive long enough to confirm the round. It is going to be number 14 here. Finally, some luck for AVANGAR. They have to spend most of their money, though, to actually get all the utility back in hand. Lose this, it'll be 10-4 with a massive reset. They need to get these last 2 rounds. 9-6 is recoverable, it always is. Doesn't matter if it's a CT-sided map.
James can't find the first. He was blinded that time. He'll smoke himself back. Inside of the outback, as Jason referred to it as. You would have thought that was Chad.
You would have thought.
He's going to rotate around Old Bomb. Krizen already inside of Z Connector. It's in B hits. It's an arsenal. It's an army. All 4 of them marching forward, but Kiekert's got orders going the other way. Fitch, he'll stand up on top of the bomb train. Og still in hand. Wants to swing. Wants to wait for it, though. Wants confirmation that one of them is preoccupied, and that is what Alexi is as he tries to put the bomb down. Mistake by Fitch. X7 and Alu. That bomb sitting in the open. Be a problem to get back towards, but a smoke down on top of it after having found the first kill on Fitch, and Alu gives himself a fighting chance. It's going to be a difficult one with a 1-on-3. AWP to play it with. 45 seconds. He's got the bomb back. He surely has to know. One sliding up, nearly hit the shot, but it was in reaction, and he was 1 step behind. 9-5.
ENCE haven't learned their lesson, apparently. Kicker isn't to be messed with right now, and they went back towards inside, even while flashed he gets 2, and then his teammate Fitch waiting on the bomb site actually denies the plant. They were going for a bit of a gamble there, planting the open on the T side to enable their chances of denying the retake. But overall, great work from the CT side. They ain't done here just yet. Well, look at the final rounds here. There's still a full buy for ENCE. They've barely had to eco this half. AVANGAR trying to deny double digits. That's actually quite the difference. 9-6 and 10-5. Cricket's going down. They really want to make sure they teach him a lesson. That will do it.
Yeah, stubborn as they are, they'll finally get the last laugh, suppose. It is the last round of the half. But we'll see if it converts to a round. Buster's going to pull one back at the very least. Krizen damage in, but couldn't follow it. Jame.
Great work.
Yeah, push the ramp with an AWP late and catches one off, completely unaware. Bomb still down toward a main. Buster's got Alu. It's both ops left against 2 AKs. And that's a bit of a problem because if this gets close, if they get inside of the site, the ops are going to have all of the trouble and all of the work to do. Buster's unsure where to look. They don't have the information to the front of the site either.
X7 saw that smoke and where it came from, though. He saw the trajectory of the throw. So he'll just hold his position, knowing there's one likely on the other side. It's Buster with the AWP, who's not going to be checking Ivy. If he goes any closer now, he will be taken down. Did he spot the feet of Alexi B there? It looks like he has, but making footsteps now. X7 might be persuaded to move on. He has to now as it goes down to the 2 versus 1. We saw some great moments of Mirage from this young man. As he holds towards Ivy, they won't be 100% sure this is clear.
But it's still double up. And with one on it, this puts so much pressure even to hit the shots. One's going to go to the CZ because they have to, but he has the lineup, and they're coming out of the smoke. He's done the damage. X7's going to make it 10 for ENCE.
Well, it's looking like the second map might be theirs. It's 10-5 at half. ENCE on their map pick and looking to book themselves a place in the top 8 here. Fantastic showing in the first half, and AVANGAR have to pull their socks up here if they're going to stand a chance. They're going to have a massive comeback on their T side, and that's not going to be easy. We'll see what they can do after this break.
Never look down, never fade out, never fade out. And I'll take it, yeah. Reminding myself to just let go. Don't wonder how far I can fall. Don't look down, never fade out. And I just wanna be someone and never fall behind again. Just keep on moving on. Never look down, never fade out, never fade out.
Formerly, based on how the draw went, you could only play a team who was above you. In other words, if you were 0-2, you would play a team dropping down who was 1-1 and went 1-2, etc. Point is now both these teams with the reseeding have come from 0-2. They both had slow starts in this stage. One of them will make it on, and one of them will have heartbreak despite battling back in all best of threes. Keep that in mind as well. Different from the previous majors. This time it looks like ENCE has the upper hand, 10-5 and a map already behind them.
They really do have the upper hand here. It's their map pick. They've won 10 rounds on the T side. If they win this pistol map, I dare say they've locked it in. Aerial challenging towards the lower ramp there. He only gets one with the CZ, and Alexi goes down to 2 HP. So they're taking casualties there. Advantage goes back to AVANGAR in this round at least.
X7 moves out toward the sandwich position, spots one, then rotates back around. Let's see another at Ivy. He'll position safely as a response. But Sergey already has James. James got Alu. 3-on-3.
One smoke remaining, a flashbang as well. All the T's separated right now, but that's the low HP player trying to back it up, and Alexi now has to get this kill in return. He knows he has to land the shot. He'll do it, but takes a lot of damage in the process. Fitch and Crizin make their way towards inside. No CT presence there at all. That was barreling towards the site, and it's up to Sergey now, who has got a kip to do what he can. He doesn't know they're actually in there, doesn't spot it, but they seem to be pretty aware this is going to be the play. Good damage done, takes Crizin down to 5, but can't quite get the frag yet.
Still desperate as Sergey. Not in position to be spotted from toward the hitch. Fitch goes aggressive, he gets X7 as well. It's going to be the round again to AVANGAR. That gives them both pistols.
Indeed.
They're 3-1 in the series, but yet they find themselves 4 rounds down at 10-6.
Saw that stat there. Fitch has lost 6 out of 6 of his opening duels.
It's actually insane.
But they win the pistol. Trust me, they're right back in this. ENCE, as one of the team owners, Natu, just tweeted out, they struggle with closing out games sometimes. A lot of pressure here. They're still a young squad. A lot of talent here, but they're still gaining experience, learning from every tournament. Getting to the finish line is a slight issue of theirs. It's a full eco from the CTs with an outside stack. Not much chance of winning this. A couple of kills would be okay.
To go back to my point as well about coming from 0 and 2, to do that in previous majors, you just had to win 3 maps.
Yeah, not
Both
best of
these
threes.
teams have already won 4 just to get into this best of 3. You have to win 3 full best of 3s now to come from that far down.
A lot of people saying this is the best system we've ever had. I tend to agree.
It certainly is going to put people in shape.
You still have the exciting format of it being a Swiss system, but it seems like it's not as random or surprising these days. If you get knocked out 0 and 3, the best of 3 there as well, you kind of feel like it was almost deserved at that point. But either way, it will be the 2-0 coming through. ENCE do have the option to buy here, which they will. Silence them for purchase straight away by Aerial, but this is still a difficult round for them. Yes, they'll have the rifles, but they won't have the AWP. They won't have incendiaries. They might even have a single one of those. I don't think they do. So they get 5 smokes, actually 4, with Aerial, who only has the HE. But they have the AUGs, and we know how powerful these can be on train. The addition of the scope on this long-range map certainly is very promising. Keeping a couple of SMGs themselves. It's going to be AVANGAR head towards inside with 4 players. James will be throwing the AWP. As Crizin had a decent spawn, just wanted to face that lower ramp and try and get a quick pick. Not going to be found, and they'll go back into the default, I'd imagine.
Buster goes very slowly back over toward the brown halls as well. Sergey and Alu, the inside of B site covered off between them, but they both play far left side from CT perspective, so they are toward the tanker. And Sergey down below on the floor as well. Watch Alexi, he's gonna get back in towards the connector, Aerial. He gets the opener. That's off site, that's on A. So it's one less to lurk, and Crizin's not even gonna bother. He's gonna join in with his teammates. AVANGAR need to convert rounds. They need to make sure they keep this momentum going in their favor. It's not working out so far. Sergey, Alexi, each finding kills back, and Alexi spots another upper, goes off the ladder to try and find it. Alu beats him to it, but communication works. It's a tandem. That's Crizin! Got too quickly. Could have gotten a little bit uncomfortable, but eventually they were going to surround him, and inevitably he will go down 11-7.
Those 2 kills actually have a knock-on effect, though. If AVANGAR can respond here quickly, they'll have a chance to reset the CTs, but taking a tactical timeout, AVANGAR not looking too pretty themselves. Kick out of any 1500. They will buy up into this. Crizin's dropped the AWP. I assume for Mr. Jame once more. Their star player needs to shine once again. So 2 AKs, the AWP. Let's look at the rest of them. What a great inside setup that was. The AUG showing their true power there. As we go 11-7. AVANGAR need to try and win this one. 3 AKs now. They do have a couple of smokes. A little bit of a
That was just to wake you up.
Yeah.
My alarm clock, actually. That's what I wake up to every morning. I never press snooze.
A 3-second clip
I
of rock and roll.
I do a ninja flip out of bed. Do a little windmill. Air guitar,
yeah?
air guitar that is.
Okay.
And then I get on with my day.
Man, whatever you do in your private space is absolutely fine with me.
Thank you. Glad you approve.
Windmilling and all. Anyway, it is going to be round 19. Slow approach. Makes sense considering they've got the AWP. Smoked out though, James feels like his efforts will be wasted there. He'll fall back towards the main entrance and leave Fitch to his own devices. Kickert's got down the pop dog at least. In terms of firepower, it's definitely ENCE who have the edge. Prison with just a P250 here. Kicker will take a lot of damage. He's burning. Down to 20 HP. Then if we have the main entrance, Aerial just the one. Answers back straight away. Still possible for AVANGAR to win this round, absolutely. They are taking a lot of damage though.
Fitch is going to sneak in. He's already down from Ivy. No one else watching it. Should be a, I was going to say clean kill toward Alexi B, but that's already been taken care of. Buster's got him. X7 could foil all plans. They thought they were clear from E-Box. They still have Jame working in, but it's going to be up close. He's got it this time. That's more like it, as he'll cover off the position, allow Fitch the comfort to work around the bomb. Low HP, though, for Kickert and Jame. This could be a massive problem if they get in. And Sergey will. Bomb not planted. 32 seconds. Kickert's got to recover it all. He's got 20 HP, and his position's been revealed, but he's against an op. If Alu misses a shot, if he doesn't have the information as to his HP, it could be a problem. There's a bigger one now, and that he knows where the bomb is. He knows it's down, but can he figure out which way Kickert's going to rotate?
Alu's so smart in clutches. 10 seconds remaining. He knows something's up here. Oh, he's just watching the perfect position. What an absolute legend. As he outplays the opposition there, wins the crucial round. He just knows exactly what could be happening, all the potential threats, and how his opposition might be thinking. It's 12-7 now, and AVANGAR can't justify a force with $2,000 per player. But Sergey, the man at the moment there, denies the plant, gets the double kill. He does go down in the end, but it's enough for Ali to win the round. 12-7, Glocks, Deagles, no armor. Apart from Kickert, who spends a bit more than his teammates. They'll need some absolutely unbelievable 1Ds here to stand a chance. And ENCE will take this moment to purchase a couple of MP9s. Take it easy. Smoke coming in, just to push back Fitch, and that's worked out quite nicely. They can leave one player in this position now.
Prison will back away. It's a Dota championship today in the spot. If we're a week away from ours, only one of these two teams can have a chance at it.
Right now, it's looking likely to be ENCE. They're about to post their 13th round and map up. It's been a long road for them, like you mentioned, the 0-2 start, but it's character building. It will enable them to get more experience.
Well, there's two things that you can say about that, absolutely. One is by putting best of threes in those situations, plus the seeding. The best team should get through. But not only that, you've got more time to recover if you have a slow start, such as many teams did, FaZe included. Yeah. Both of these guys, you've got time to build back into it. Building into this round against Pistols, not really much to report. They did lose 2 members on the ENCE side, but they now find 13, 3 to go, and this series is over, as will be AVANGAR's major. It's been decent for them, considering in London we weren't really sure. They finished 4 out of a 4-team event with Heroic and North, who were not even in this entire sequence of 24 teams at the major, placing ahead of them. But as we said then, we said it last week, we say it now, they always have the potential to be in the mix. They always have the potential to upset and make it through. They just always seem to be on the cusp.
Absolutely true. Manny's still not in a great position. They don't have the comfort of an AWP in the hands of Jame this time. Actually, looks a little bit troublesome for them. A Deagle for Kickert. He spent a lot more cash than his teammates in that eco. Got the Deagle and armor out. And it's up to Aerial now. He found 3 kills in the previous round to strike first. Going to do it, but surely traded out here. He does take Jame down to 1 HP, however. So advantage still lies with ENCE. Alu with the AWP patrols towards main entrance. Jame goes down in the end. And Buster now looking to recover the situation. They have 2 smokes available to them, a couple of flashes as well, but no positional control. If Buster can make this work, they're in business, but there's the bomb, and the CTs can now triangulate around his position and presumably win out the round. It's a 4-on-2.
Kristen does have the AK to work with, but is it enough? Silence for now. That might work to his advantage, but not if Alu continues to watch the angle. They know the bomb's down inside of the site. It's where the closest and most likely approach will come from. So Alu should be ready for it. Missed the shot. Got a slight fractional damage returned. In fact, it was absorbed mostly by the wall, but I think Kickert's told us exactly what's going to happen for the next 35 seconds.
They're on 4th-stage loss bonus after this, so they're hoping the 2 AKs, and I guess at this stage it'll be Galil's to join them will be enough. It's not the sexiest option by far, saving 2 AKs, especially when it's going to lead you to a 14-7 deficit. But they've got to look at the bigger picture here. There's almost no chance they win this. Hold on to what they have. Quickert and Krizen will get no money into the next round. Here's the scoreboard for you. Alu, great tournament from him. 19 kills, 11 deaths. Ariel posting decent stats as well. Only have one player not really turning up for them. That's Sergey, but the fact that the scoreline's 14-7, he's had a couple of impact moments, 8 and 14 for him. Top fragger on the AVANGAR side, it's going to be Jame with 16 and 12. So Orpa's kind of backing up that stat we mentioned earlier. Train has the second most AWP kills in terms of maps in this stage of the tournament. It's Duster's number 1. And they'll force with what they can. Buster opting to take a deagle, not investing much money at all. Relying on these AKs to do the work, and ENCE in the post. Elimination points in for AVANGAR.
Try to. The Fitch Deagle. Map point and series point for ENCE on the line. How incredible is that as well, with a Finnish roster? And what seems to be the trend of going to international superstars, Alu included in that for a long period of time. They've gone back to their roots and they're building something. Alu said it himself in an interview. How far can they go? They know there's something here, but how good can this team get?
When it was first formed, no one believed in this at all, including us. We were like, well, that's the end of Alu's career.
Yep,
we didn't know about any of these young players. We weren't aware of these names. But they've proven themselves, and there's a reason he believed in the project, and he's always said he wants to play in a Finnish team and put them on the radar. Getting into the final 8 of a major will certainly do that. It's huge for the organization and these young players as well. X7 detects threat towards the back of the old bomb train. He'll spot the first, and Alu will get both.
He does, absolutely. That's pretty much shut down the round. Alexi B, he's got Buster as well. And the Finns will find 15. Kicker's got the AK. Jame only on the CZ75. Now, he has been disregarded in some ways because they were already covering off Ivy. He gets there late. He could surprise them. It's unlikely he'll get much done now, though. With the flash going out, they certainly turn their attention. He walks in. He'll be a sitting duck and an open target. Ariel gets Kicker. Done. Surely it's done. X7 confirms it. We've got one more round. And there's so much behind this organization as well. It's not just the fact that it's 5 Finns. It's that they took chances. They brought in young talent. Sergey, Ariel, both relatively unknown. Alexi B, same thing. X7 did come from the iGame roster that had potential in Finland for years, but didn't have the backing, didn't have the, I guess, the experience, you could say, of Alu, or not to, for that matter, or Lurpus behind it. They've built something, and they've put everything into it. And with one more round, I would say they completely validate the entire project.
One more round will do it. They do have 8 chances here to close it out. I don't think that'll be a problem, but stranger things have happened. This could be the round. Good grenade damage as well. Look at it being done. That's wallbang effect with incendiaries and grenades backing it up. Not looking good for AVANGAR now. The bomb's still down in T-spawn. They've got no opening picks. Jame with a desperate attempt there will fire off through the smoke and realize that his efforts are in vain and will have to fall back.
It's been a good year for ENCE so far. This would make it so much better. Let's not forget as well, first time in 20 years, a non-Asian winner in the StarCraft World Finals.
That's a good point.
And it was surreal. Also finish, also ENCE. Another type of finish we're looking for now. One more round, as we say. Kickert's already down at the bottom of Pop Dog. Decoy. Desperate, perhaps. Molosov's already extinguished. Alu on rotation. He's going to cover off B. 3 players over here with bomb. Sergey's the only other one inside of the site, and they're playing very passively.
Great smoke. It goes down at the perfect time. If you land a smoke just before they execute, you've done a really good job. As Kicker will get 1, but is that enough? They'll commit towards the lower side now. It's up to Sergey to defend.
They could rotate off this. They're not confirmed that it's out toward Ivy as of yet. Alu's left alone. Ariel didn't see anyone at A main, and they countered off the player at Pop Dog, but now it's all on Alu. Bomb's going to go down there very far forward. This is a good post plant. ENCE might have to wait. They might have to consider just giving it up for one more round. They've got money enough, but they've got the AWP on Alu, and they don't want to give AVANGAR any further chances to get back in. That said, Alexi B gives it a go. Krizen, he's found. They know he's up there, but he's so far forward, it's hard to get past him, and they'll run into him yet again. Ariel with 1. Alu's gotten closer. AWP down the tanker side. Ariel Fitch to drop as well. It's a 2-on-2. Nade, it's going to land on top of the bomb. It's a smoke. Jamin on AWP switches to the knife. It's all he has to work with. They're on it. They tap it. They want to bait him out. He's swinging, but he's missing. They're going to get it in the smoke. ENCE, they're going to be legendary on one defuse. 16-7. And AVANGAR goes down, but ENCE are through.
What a fantastic showing from them. 0-2 down in this stage of the tournament, and they brought it all the way back. They go 3-2. And it's 16-7 in the second map against AVANGAR. Everyone showed up. They managed to post an amazing amount of frags. It's been a rocky tournament for them, but like I said, I feel like this has been beneficial to the squad. They've learned a lot on this path, and thank God it's successful for them because there's a lot more to show from this young team.
3-1 last week. They went 0-2 off the start of this. They got rated higher by their peers than Renegades, who actually got the 3-0 over top of them. Much like Renegades, they've made it through. Both of those teams making legendary status for the first ever time. Both challengers that have now made it into the legendary stage. Fantastic turnaround from ENCE this week. Incredible all the way through, and Alu's got to be impressed and very, very happy with his AWP performance. With that said, we're going to send it back over to the desk.
And they've done it, and they'll continue to show that promise going forward. Quite the showing here for ENCE, and doing it in a fashion that would convince you that this is the ENCE we were supposed to see the whole time. Matt nailed it right on the head there. They had a real rocky start here in Katowice, but ultimately they got it done at the end of the day, and that's what matters.
Yeah, they ended this stage here with 4 amazing maps, 2-0ing G2, and now we see them 2-0, a very, very strong AVANGAR team who honestly never stood a chance in that train game. They won both pistols, both follow-up rounds, and still only end with 7 rounds.
That's what's so impressive about this win from ENCE, right? Because as you said, AVANGAR did everything they could in the early stages of the game to give themselves a good chance of winning it, or at least giving themselves a chance of getting into the game. That said, though, ENCE was simply just stronger in every single aspect.
And making it look easy for what it's worth. We might as well just throw that one in there while we're there. Very, very hype moment to see Alu return to this form and putting himself back in this. That's a storyline all on its own. It's been a long road for him. What we were just discussing is about this lineup and their formation and the very creation, as there were doubts, as there is with a lot of lineups in their formation. But in this moment, they have really proven us all wrong.
Yeah, they really did. When this team first formed, we thought Alu would be the only star on this team, and then it looked like Ariel was emerging. Sergey came up as this young talent, 16 years old. And then now we see Alexi B as the in-game leader, you know, just coming up big time and time again in these clutches. I think his calls were very on point today. And there's not many deficiencies when you look at this team now.
No, and that's what I love about ENCE, right? They have so many different tools to choose from. As you said, and Alu have been very dominant with the AVP, have been doing a lot of opening kills, have been very assertive in the way he has been playing. Alexi B as an in-game leader made a lot of great calls. You have that young star prospect in terms of Sergey and Ariel with the rifles. So you have so many different tools on this lineup to work with, and that is very impressive considering how young they are.
Yeah, and the young part about this is what's keeping it very, very much alive, though. I mean, I think that's very much a part of the flame that is ENCE. Yes, they're newer blood and newer guys on the block, but they're certainly getting it done in a manner that's making it a strong case for conviction.
Yeah, and that's something that I mentioned earlier on the desk is when you're such a young team like ENCE is, you haven't been burned by doing crazy things.
Yeah.
You know, you're willing to make those risky plays in pivotal parts of the match because you haven't had the experience that burns you yet, so you can see them, you know, come time and time again with the heat.
You want to talk about the experience and the risque and risky plays, and we do in fact have a man that has been at the helm of this ENCE lineup. It's going to be Alexi B as well as Frankie.
Just now, Alexi V, as soon as he got through to Champions, literally whipped out his phone and started writing. What were you tweeting?
I just wrote that we won over AVANGAR and we're now on the big stage, and I'm just speechless.
How does it feel to be on the big stage, if you can find the words?
It feels amazing, but I have to experience it first.
You do, but you've done pretty well on this stage, and this stage is not small, Alexi V. And I want to talk about you as an IGL and also a huge power player. You're never afraid to go to those clutches. So how do you make those calls?
I'm not sure. Everyone was just feeling it today, and everyone was playing calm. We just played our own game.
Can I ask you about those final moments, though, when Ariel was defusing that bomb? Because historically, you guys have trouble closing. I thought you were going to save, and suddenly Ariel was there in the smoke. What was it like on the voice comms?
I'm not sure. I was sure that we are going to lose this round, but he just defused it.
And what did you say when he did?
Holy shit.
I think you can have that one, Alexi B. So I know you guys are confident as a team, but I also know that you must be feeling so elated right now. But what's the plan for the top 8 now you've made it?
We're gonna face Liquid or Astralis, I don't know, but we just have to beat every team here, and we're glad that we're on the top 8 now.
Can you beat them?
Of course.
I absolutely love interviewing this guy, and I can't wait to see you in Champions, Alexi B. Congratulations to ENCE, and we've got to head back to the three amigos to talk about how all of that went down.
Yeah, there's some Migos over here, that's for sure. And perhaps we even begin to talk about that statement there. He knows he's going to be up against the wall and what is either Liquid or Astralis, perhaps at some point, no matter how the seeding and the brackets all do play out in the end. Those are some big scalps to take.
I mean, ENCE is starting to fire out, though. They're playing better and better. They're playing more structured. They're having a higher level, I would say, in general. I think no matter who is going to face ENCE, they have to be aware that this is a strong lineup now. They started out slow, but they're definitely bringing the heat.
I definitely think they're going to struggle in like the firepower matchup.
Sure.
But they have such strong strategies. We saw that on Train, we saw that on Mirage, and they play these tactical maps so well. So, you know, the Mirages, the Trains, these are maps that they can upset Astralis and Liquid on.
Yeah, and there are some key components to that as well. I mean, we could talk a little bit about some of the players that, in fact, make that very possible. I think one player that, Sean, maybe you can give me some insight on is Alexi B and what he brings to the table.
Yeah, I mean, we saw in Train time and time again right there, those outer hits were amazing. They had all these planned Molotov set, cut off the rotation really well, smoked back 6, and they just get Alu out in space in that T-Train yard.
Yeah, well, we do have some numbers here we can run really quickly and take a look at what is Fitch versus Alexi B. Now, Alexi B being the big brains here and talking a little bit more about it in depth. Jacob, what do you got for me?
We got a little Telestrator segment here I would like to show you guys, as we have talked about Alexi B a lot, being this in-game leader that is playing assertive, that is taking shots and leading by example. Now, we found a great example here, and if we just play it out in the beginning, you can see Alexi B going out of team main straight away to create a lot of space for his team. Now, the round has hardly begun, and he's already out in a very favorable position. Now, if you stop the clip here, and we just focus a little bit towards the minimap up here, you can see how the ENCE players are currently spread out on the map. They're not really ready to go with him, but what happens in a second, if we clear the screen and we play out the clip again, is that they're going to be ready now. They're regrouping. They're all going to go towards team main and group up with Alexi B, and that's simply down to the communication that is coming from him. He's telling them, I'm in a favorable position, be ready. As the kill comes in, all the terrorists is coming out of team main, and once again, Alexi B is leading by example. It is very, very impressive to me. I mean, a lot of players would like to play like this. A lot of in-game leaders would like to be the Alexi B. This guy is 21 years old, and he's doing it on the big stage against some great opponents. I mean, you have guys like Zeus, you have guys like Glaive, each with a different style. This is a guy that is coming up in the ranks, and I think he's going to be one hell of an in-game leader for the future.
And I do think that that is a very echoed sentiment. It's something that we can really drive home. Sean, I want to ask you for one last point here as to, yes, we look forward, and yes, we're going to be positive about ENCE and how easy it might be for them. But for what it's worth, what could be that kryptonite going forward?
I mean, the kryptonite is definitely going to be their opponent, right? Whoever they play in this next stage can play 6 maps, and they have 5 strong players, because it's going to be Liquid or Astralis, as Alexi B said. So, I mean, they have some days to prepare. They can obviously develop a crazy game plan, and they also have young talents to compete.
Let's manage expectation. Now, ENCE got inside in the top 8.
Yes.
That is definitely impressive, right?
Yes.
Nobody expected that coming into this. Could they be a top 16 team? I would say that would be impressive. Now, they're inside the top 8. If they're facing an Astralis, facing a Liquid, nobody expects them to win. So this would be another layer of the ENCE lineup. Seeing them play with no pressure at all, that's going to be interesting, because they have some of those playmakers in Ariel, in Alexi B, and in Alu, you know, showing up once again with the balls.
Well, yeah, you couldn't have, my goodness, couldn't have said it any better. And I'm not sure exactly how to phrase that one myself. So I think you nailed it, Jacob, not bad. What we are going to do, though, is go to a quick break. We got another elimination or, well, a matchup that could put a team through to the playoffs. It's do or die time here in Katowice, and it's going to be NIP versus Vitality. And you don't want to miss that one. So be here with us when we come back.